All Might, playing by Scott, and just to find out what Murray is playing. His card's blank. Yes, I'm not too sure what Murray's playing. Murray's card's blank on screen. So I wonder what he's playing. We'll find out. I'll ask. I'll message the chat. So Scott playing his All Might, going in for his build turn. Nice build of 5. So I've messaged to see what Murray is playing. So Murray is playing Stryker. They're saying it's just because it's appearing as blank on the screen. We'll figure that out. Worst case scenario, I'll just add in Stryker over the top of that. Yeah, Scott, I've loaded everything. I'll just add it. It's no real hassle. That's right. So Murray's playing a Stryker. It's weird how it's not loading for us. Especially because I've got a Stryker deck built. So I wonder. Some people in the chat are saying it might be the sleeves or something, but I'm not too sure how this works. So Murray manages to get an alright build as well. Over the top, TK Mastery, Fate Intervenes, Conquest of Terra, and a Guardian. So not too bad. So Scott's electing to build. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. So building the foundation, but then he's going into the Black Wing. Try to think if I can fix this L. So obviously Scott check the 3, obviously needing the 5, commits 2 foundations. So going with enhance on Black Wing or Snake Wing, I think is it? Snake Wing. Yeah. So he adds one momentum from his card pool. Gains multiple one. So what I'm going to do is actually fire up on my screen what Stryker does, just in case stuff starts happening from the character point of view. Because I know he does stuff with momentum, so we'll figure this out together. So Scott's going for the multiple one. And then Fate intervenes. So he commits. And if it's blocked, it will deal no damage, but Scott can discard the card to cancel the effect. What I really want is I'm going to fire over fire this over to this side quickly. Just in case the chat has it to say it. Right, for those that don't know, I've got Stryker up now. So, the character Murray is playing has a response after your opponent discards one or more momentum. Your opponent loses a life for each momentum discarded. And this hands is commit. Your opponent discards one momentum for each attack in your card pool. Add one ranged attack from your card pool to your hand. So I'm going to keep that up, just in case it starts becoming a thing. The way Scott's playing Snake Wings and stuff like that, there's a very big chance it probably could become a thing, so we'll keep that up. Then going for the lock. Take the half damage, partial blocked. Playing an initiate launch. Is that one, isn't it? Yeah, initiate launch, aye. Revered by a child. So does the attack, does the multiple, builds 2. Still holding 5 in hand, which is not too bad for a turn. So Stryker's quite unique in what he does, just out of the fact it's very rarely seen. For somebody to have like a commit cost to be able to add stuff back to hand, which is quite cool. Like a couple of people do it, but basically the response on the top of them is the thing that really matters, which I'm assuming is probably going to be what kind of gets played into the game a bit. So Murray's going for quite another big build turn. So building a dark side of karma. I always forget the name of that one. Is it? Gift of Immortal Blood, that's that one. Yeah, so that one's, you can discard the momentum for the -5 speed. So it builds 3 or 4, passes back to Scott. Let's see what he does. So now at this point, both players have both quite a big board presence. It'll just be a matter of finding those attacks now and being able to go in. Now, here we go. So this looks like a new card on the field. That is Psycho Blast. So I'll fire this up on the screen. So this one's got 6 high for 6. Commit your character, add 1 card from your card pool to your momentum, and it's got a 7 check. Ready your character. So he passes 5. Okay, so he's passed. He's doing some stuff. Let's see. Has that been from? Cool. So Murray's given it some minus speed from the Guardian of the Spirit Sword. So Scott's now, I think, doing the big check for the 7 check. Check the 4 is kinda rough. Yep. Nope, so just go to the block step. So on an 8. So I think, oh, done that again. Yeah, on an 8 or on a 6. So with a minus speed. So Scott throws the big attack, and now elects just to build a wee bit extra defences. And a Voice of the Dark Fate intervenes in a Hell's Reach. And passes turn. So at this point, yeah, both players still have quite a good presence on board. Plenty of cards in hand for blocks. So it'll just be a matter of seeing who kind of chips away at the field. So I'm pretty sure Scott should be clearing his attack as well. There we go. So, Murray going for another build turn with a TK Mastery, and what is that card from Street Fighter as well, of all things? Secured his destiny. Remove after your opponent plays a non-keyword ability on an attack, cancel its effect. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, that can be pretty useful in this case. So at this point, Scott's reviewed a foundation, probably maybe setting up for an attack run. That's that, or just getting rid of for middle of the task, because at the end of the day it's a 3 mid block, so he's just not needing it. So we'll see what he comes out with though. Yep, here comes the first of probably many attacks if Scott checks well. So going with a Quesadel Leviathan. Now it doesn't have the momentum yet, so this will be quite interesting to see how he does this. Commit Foundation, draw 2, but if your opponent's at deadlock or at desperation, add top 2 cards to your deck to momentum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Murray was at desperation. I'm not too sure. Was it at desperation? I think it was. Oh, not desperation, deadlock. But the first thing he's done is put in the -3 speed because it's a weapon. So it's quite bang, probably going to seal All Might himself. Yep. All Might sealed. So this potentially hampers the tongue of Scott a little bit. Not having All Might there. Basically, I think at this point, I keep pushing this button. My bad, folks. Still getting used to all the keyboard commands for this. Sorry about that. So the thing for All Might was your Fury or Punch will get +1 speed or +1 damage for each card in your opponent's hand, playable while committed. So obviously you do the commit 1 foundation to draw 2, and then you hit them with a big beefy thing early games. But now Murray has managed to play out a few things. So he's played out the block, successfully blocked, and now is hitting in with a reversal with a bit of Genocide Calvinator. Vernon. I'm going to say it's that way. So this has got a response on it. It's actually a pretty solid reversal. It's got a response of discard 1 card after your unblocked weapon attack deals damage. Your opponent loses 2 life. Only playable if there's no other copies in the card pool. But the first thing is quite good. The E for it is if your opponent does not attempt to block this card, they discard the card. And because it's kind of running about with like the 2 damage, potentially 4. Potentially 2 damage with the potential extra on reversals. Most people don't tend to touch it. Now I missed what. Oh, sorry. Now I missed what happened to the TK though. Just checking what's on the field. Yeah, I'm really not too sure what brought them up. Obviously they're into grenade toss. No, it's not. So he's playing Demon Realm. He's going to pass it. This may answer my question. So Adam in the chat saying Scott discarded a Pure of Heart. That's what they both added up to. Right, okay, that makes more sense. I missed that one. That's fine. Magic. And then Scott elects to take the 2 damage off. There we go. So there's another Pure of Heart just to in good steads there. So Murray's adding up his Dark Side Karma and Fate intervenes. That is pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. A pretty nice use of Pure of Hearts. Yeah, look at that. It was still more attacks. This was definitely Scott's attack run. Yeah. So at this point, more than likely, he's going to get some damage through, a wee bit extra. Obviously, Grenade Toss. After your point partially blocks a ranged attack, they're going to lose 2. So he's got 2 of these in pool. And after you play this attack, your opponent discards 1 momentum pool at this point. So yeah, Murray takes a big hit there. So at this point, Murray still has enough foundations where he can still attack, still options, but he's slowly losing the foundation game, simply down to those 2 Pure out of Hearts, absolutely out of nowhere. So start with Hunt, not too bad. Probably now going in for the attack. He's going to then try and build that Hunt for spiders. So here we go. Oft, his very own. So also playing Grenade Toss. So builds Hunt and he flips the. Oh, what's that card called now? One of Cervantes' cards. What? Try and remember what it's called now. Or is it Cervantes? I'll look it up later. Should be able to do it on this screen actually. Out the road. And figure out what he just flipped there. Because for the life of me, that's going to annoy me. I want this. Pretty sure it was a Cervantes card. Just for the life of me, can't remember which one. It was Match made in hell, sorry, that's what it was. I knew it was something. And then obviously Scott's electing to block. And now Murray goes back for a bit of build. So Edge of Death. Commits one foundation to pass. Another Guardian. And then Edge of Death. Swung an attack which was blocked. So here we go, Scott going in for another attack run. Playing the Psycho something. Psycho Blast. Passes. So coming out with a bit of speed from All Might. So Murray took the first hit from the Cycle Blast. Now Scott's now swinging in with a Casa de Leviathan himself. So this card's a pretty good card in general. Obviously it's just going to help him kinda do a few wee things that he was doing, especially with the discarding of the momentum. If he had it, it's quite good. Destroy one of the opponent's foundations, and your opponent may discard or lose 2 life to cancel, and it can be done as many times as you want, as much as you have momentum. So it's actually it can be a pretty good game changer. Sadly, in this scenario, Scott just doesn't have the momentum, but the attack itself is still going to be doing quite a bit. And there's the yep. So if your opponent's at deadlock or at desperation, you add the top 2 cards of your deck to your momentum. Boom. And then there's the momentum gain. So he's now going to be able to do this twice, where he's going to be able to pop the momentum and destroy a foundation. At this point, as I say, Murray could still elect to discard a card or lose the 2 life, but that's quite unfavourable at this point. I mean, to potentially be losing like 4 life, putting them down to 7, that's pretty rough, especially when this attack itself is doing 5 damage. So you can see where that'll start to play a bit. So he's electing just to do the destroying of the foundations. He's not cancelling them, because he can't even. Because at this point as well, he can't even afford to discard to cancel because he's only got 2 in hand. And he's taking the 5. So he's down to 6. That was pretty brutal. So now it's a matter of seeing if Scott can edge out a few extra attacks and probably put this game away. Yep, elects to pass turn. At this point though, Scott's got pretty much the advantage in hand. Not going to go as far as saying the game. At the end of the day, one life is still in the game, and you can definitely pull out all the stops from even one life. So let's see what Murray goes for. Right, so he's building a friends and rivals. So at this point, he's probably just going to rebuild up a wee bit of a foundation line, keep enough blocks. But more than likely, probably holding a couple of, maybe holding a reversal. Scott draws back up. All Might, a big six-hander himself, having lost very little health. So here we go. Right, so we'll fire up this card as well so everyone can see. So Pion Thrust. It's a charge punch weapon. If this attack is completely blocked, add it to your hand after it resolves, and your next combo attack gets -2 difficulty and +2 damage. Now I'm not too sure how many combos we've seen, but definitely the first enhance is the one that matters. If it gets completely blocked, he's going to add it back to hand. With that being said, that now obviously edges into the level of Scott having the options to basically force Michael to partial and take a wee bit of damage. So he's going for a bang, and let's see what he seals. More than likely he'll seal All Might again, I'd have thought. Yeah, I like to seal All Might again. At this point you don't want All Might gives at this point too much speed. Even now he'll still be given +3 speed. He's already did the +4 speed. So Murray playing the Demon Realm. Probably give it like the -3 damage. He draws a card. So at this point now, Pion Thrust is probably less likely to get blocked, doing 1 damage, and it takes a damage. There we go. So that card's now just staying in pool, no need to block it. Takes the 1 from it, and he now continues to go in. So he's now going back in with a Snake Wing. So this one's again, if you get more momentum than your opponent, you get to draw a card, and if you can add a foundation from the card pool to your momentum. Now he doesn't have that scenario out yet, but he still has momentum for days, where he's getting that extra draw. So at this point, this is just another attack in the run that Michael will have to basically block at this point. At this point, it's too high for 5, which is still lethal. And it just comes down to what Murray can play around it. So at this point, I think they're literally just sending it. Yep. So Murray needs to block on a 4. Which is a slightly easy one to block, that's not too bad. The real question is if he's got a reversal, which it does. Boom, hits out with a Caesar. There's that, genocidal, sorry, is this one. So he did the Stryker commit, and then it adds a ranged back to hand, which obviously triggers off for Spirit Shotgun to get added back to hand. And it makes Scott discard all the momentum. Yeah. So he commits to make Scott discard momentum equal to the amount of cards in his pool, which was 2. So he discards the 2 momentum, and then he adds the Spirit Shotgun back to hand because it's arranged. So pretty effective turning there. That probably puts a bit of a stall on potentially Scott's game plan. So we'll see what else they do. Because at this point, obviously we've still got this out, which is discarding a card after you're unblocked. Weapon attacks deals damage and point loses 2. So you can still do that for a wee bit extra damage. Later on, if he gets a couple of reversals out, maybe blocks. And if your opponent doesn't attempt to block this, they have to actually discard a card. At this point, that's probably not too bad on Scott's front. He should probably be able to discard something unless he gets it. So, see what they do. So he is electing to block it though. On like a 5 or something. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 6, sorry. Yeah, so commits 1 to pass. Now the real question is, did Scott do this block to get a free reversal out? Or is he passing turn? Nope, he's just passing turn. So that's pretty rough. Pretty rough going. I think Murray has definitely seen a good couple of bangs to seal off All Might in very clutch plays. Also been able to discard his momentum with Stryker. Just there was actually pretty good as well. I think that's obviously maybe stopped Scott from maybe swinging potentially an extra attack if he's holding any. Jeez, I've not seen hair trigger in a while. Alright, so let's fire this up for the people watching. So it's a 2-def attack for 2 high for 2, and if this attack deals damage, your next ranged attack this turn gets +4 damage. Now at this point, so Scott had a bang of his own. So what is he elected to seal? Probably the Stryker, I'm assuming. So going for the block on a Hell's Reach. So blocking on a partial on a 5. But because he had his Fate Intervenes used, it will deal no damage. But this now, because it deals no damage, isn't going to trigger off for the next +4. So a pretty good play from Scott there. We'll see what they do. So I don't think Scott's got a reversal. I also don't think Scott would want to play a reversal at this point. At this point, playing a reversal would be pretty opening for him. Unless he really thought he could get the kill away. But with Murray having plenty of cards in hand and everything untapped, like, it could be a bit rough. So there's a few hand icons flying about the screen. I'm not entirely sure what they're looking for. Whatever they have, they figure that out maybe. So Murray going back in for a bit extra build. So building another voices as well, and then passes. So leave himself with 3 in hand. Obviously at this point Murray is probably also building just because if he hasn't got another bang, the All Might's just going to get extra speed on the attacks for each card in his hand. So at this point, building some extra foundations and holding a nice number is probably the way to go. Both players searching their decks for something. I'm not too sure if a card has went loose or something. Not too sure what they were looking for there. I think a card or something maybe went loose on the table. So Scott building a few, probably going to build a couple of cards. At this point, both decks getting a bit thin, probably going to see a bit of a cycle happening. But so Scott also then plays the Snake Wing, builds that first one. So he's going to build that moment. He's going to build that foundation into the card pool. He's going to commit for this. Yeah, commits the two of the face downs. And we'll see what he goes for first. So he's putting the foundation from the card pool into momentum. He's drawing one. And I think that is him needing to cycle. So sometimes on TTS it automatically cycles for you. Sometimes not though. I've had it a few times where it's not cycled, but yeah, give it a wee shuffle, discard the top 10, then we'll fire them to the side. Also gives you a chance to see what's getting. That's a lot of attacks. That is a lot of attacks going. Oof, that's rough. That was a lot. I think that was about 5-6 attacks there practically. That's pretty brutal. That'll be tough going as the game progresses. If it does progress, that'll go quite far into him not seeing any more kill turns as much. Probably playing about 20 attacks, so Murray got to look at the top card of the deck. So Scott's committed All Might and committing a foundation to draw. And it draws 2. With the option to still get speed. So he's going for the speed. There we go. But aye. So he's getting the 3 speed on the attack for each card in Murray's hand. But at this point, this is now a lethal attack still, with now an alright speed, now at like 5 high I think, so blocking on a 6. So he checks a 5, committing the face down for 6, or 7 sorry, yeah it's +2. And hitting in with a reversal. So he commits Stryker. Scott's going to discard the mimic that he just built, and then Murray gets to add the Spirit Shotgun back to hand. And we continue with. So at this point, I think Scott's hovering over the idea of doing the same scenario that he did last turn, or is he just taking the damage? He's just electing to take the damage. And because he didn't attempt to block, he discards a card. But then, boom, hits out with a Pure of Heart. So going for this discard, he's going to have 2 cards added up from Murray's staging area. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Pretty brutal going. Pure of Heart, probably the card of the game for Scott at this point. As at this point, this will be the 6th card that he debuilds from discarding that card. So Murray's going over his options. And then that's it. Friends Arrival also added up. That's brutal. So at this point now, the card pool is getting fairly clogged, and then here we go. This will probably be it, guys. It's going to be 6 high. 6 high, you'll make it 8 high. Eight high, Murray has 3 in pool, putting the potential block to like 11, depending on what he's got. We obviously know he's got a Spirit Shotgun in hand, which means he'd be blocking on like a 13. Could check a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, he could check a 6. It's not out of the realms of possibility for a full block. But I think that's the out at this point. Is the oh wait, he actually had, yeah, he has an over the top as well, so he needs to check that 6. Yeah, check the 5. Game 1, I think, has just went to Scott. That was pretty tough going. Being able to have those Pure of Hearts was definitely the winning card on that first round, while they prep for round 2. That's pretty disgusting. It basically put Murray at a disadvantage for quite a chunk of that game there. As I say, like during the course of that game, he discarded 3 of them. Look at that, he still had 2 attacks in hand. Yeah, I think he probably would have locked that out anyway. Each one of them being lethal. But yeah, that Pure of Heart was definitely the card to watch out for. At this point now, it's also like at least Murray knows it exists now. So now he can play around it a wee bit, but at the same time as well, that reversal itself, like the genocidal reversal, its purpose there is to force somebody to block or discard. So it's a kind of tough one to not play that. I would still like to play it. At the end of the day, he's only ever going to have 4 of these Pure Hearts at some point in his hand. So starting with an over the top, going into your friends and rivals. Another friends and rivals. Now this will definitely be the better build. Having 2 of them can definitely shut down the game a wee bit earlier. I think in the last game, it was just going a wee bit too long, and Murray was getting debuilt a wee bit to the point where it was kind of detrimental for how long the game was going in. So Scott now is going in for it. So building a task, a conquer, revealed by a child, voices in the dark, fails. Nearly a perfect build there. So both get a fairly decent build turn in the early goings. And now Murray going in straight in with attacks. Checks a 3, he'll need to commit 1, commits over the top. It does share two symbols, I think. I'll just tell you the symbols for Stryker, guys. Stryker's air, death, and fire. And obviously, this being his card, shares all the symbols. So people know the other symbol choices to look out for. So, hitting both friends and rivals is going to force Scott to commit his field. Which means that, more than likely, if he could do anything else, he's either going to force that other card out of the hand of Scott, or Scott is taking a bit of a hit on this one. It's 3 high for 7. And if he partially blocks a ranged attack, he'll lose another 2. And after he plays his cards, your opponent discards the momentum, but that's fine. None of that exists yet. This is only turn 2. So Scott likes to take the hit. So, yeah, that's pretty heavy going straight away. That being said, though, it has left Murray obviously out of cards to commit, bar Stryker. So he probably, I mean, he plays enough 2-diff attacks where you could justify them, but more than likely he'll go for a bit of a build, or an aggressive. Plays the 4. Well. Went for the aggressive 5 check to play another grenade toss. Didn't work out as he checks a spirit shotgun this time round. That's pretty rough. That's definitely my style of play, though. I appreciate that. So back into Scott's turn. Gets to drop his hand. And oh right, okay. Didn't see that one the last time. So building the Archon Nirvana, building another one of building a Journey West, not a task. Building an Age of Wise, and another one of the From Hells. Committing for it. As he still built 3 in an asset. Murray has discarded an attack on his review step before drawing up, so probably looking to build a few unlikely, if that's what he's throwing away. Well, there we go. Aye, so yeah, sword to start. Let's see where his own Archon. Empress of Netherrealm, and the Syndicate target. So yeah, definitely builds a few extra. I think when he played the attack run, obviously he knows he's going to be committing those friends and rivals probably pretty consistently, to the point where he needs the extra foundations. Even just the extra one was definitely needed on setup. But now he's got an Archon and Nirvana out as well, so you're going to be able to cancel a keyword getting played, which is not too problem. I think mostly it'll stop the multiples off of the Snake Wings. Scott just he's definitely got board presence for actually on the defensive. Being able to use that Swordfish will actually be able to he'll be able to justify throwing an attack, or not having to block an attack. So we'll see what he does. So Scott builds a couple passes and Murray is electing to just building straight out, definitely. I think Murray will probably build into Deadlock pretty fast going. Definitely one of the players least concerned about Deadlock. He might stay at 10 for a bit, knowing that one of the attack cards of Scott does actually care about it for a while. Key pieces to commit, such as Syndicate target. He's got some removal on the Swordfish and Darkside. He's got TKs out to start potentially nerfing the damage when Scott does the speed or damage part. So Scott's built a Voices, but then he's playing the Snake Wing, needs to commit. See what it does. So yeah, in the Journey West and that. But now he's going to add that foundation to the momentum. He won't get the draw, as I think they're both on 1, so he needs to have more. Don't think he has any ways of getting rid of momentum at this point in the game, but goes for All Might and gives it some speed. And Murray is going to TK Mastery and let that fail more than likely. I think he's generally justifying, does he? Does he do it? So they're both hovering over this card, so I'll fire it up now. So it's got a deadlock first form, and it's got an opponent's turn. Destroy one of your opponent's foundations, then add top card of the deck to the stage and face down. And I think they're just looking at that in general. But yeah, I think he's electing to pass. Yeah, he did. That's fine. So he's just looking at that card in general because he knows there's 2 of them out. So Scott plays a Let's Cut Loose on a 4, checks a pass to commit, and he does. So he's going to search his discard pile for a card and add it to hand, and then he's going to draw a card. So he has chose Extended Lifespan that he's going to add to hand, and he gets to draw a card as well. We'll see what he does from here. He readied up Journey West. I'm not too sure why he readied that up. Not too sure. If build a foundation, build an extra momentum. The Hoon 2 to Murray's 1. In fact, I know he did. Did he not? Oh, no. Sorry, folks. He used Archon in the Vanna. That's what he did. I knew he did it. Aye, yeah. I knew there was something on the board. So Murray elects to just do a quick 2 build a Kirin Souls, and then the card that I always forget the name of, Riding the World of Outsiders, that's the one. Scott elects to review initiate launch, draws back up to 6. And is now playing heavy, discard momentum, and they can discard a card or lose 2 vitality to cancel. They can do this twice, so we'll see. Too rough going, so right and committing foundation, he's going to draw 2. So it gives him a wee bit extra about with the speed, or even give it the damage for +4 if he thought the case. In this scenario, he does likes to give it all about forcing the bit unblocked. Now he did flip. I think that was Finding What's Lost. Well, I'm looking that up. Damage now, making it the block on it. Bebop. Find out what this one is called. Definitely. Yeah, definitely a solid attack. Going in for a second case of this time. Again, going for the speed off of All Might. And this time the TK triggers again, which was what he cancelled the first time. At this point now he just elects and gives it the -2 speed. Scott can't cancel that. And then he readies up using Archon Nirvana. So he flips Kirin Soul. So if he gives it -1 speed first of all, and if he does block it, it's -1 speed for every character, so it's only going to be 1 in this case. But if he blocks it, it'll deal no damage, which he is going to commit out for this probably. Yeah, so commits a few extra to make that check pass, but is going to hit Scott with like a breaker 3. Yeah. 3 on a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On an 11, that's rough. You could still pass it, yeah. That's a rough one, yeah. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, rough. So this is a kind of all or nothing strategy. It hits out with a breaker 3. At that point, it sometimes forces players to play completely off the wall stuff to use up the breaker, like obviously playing like foundations and stuff like that, or just heavy go in with the attack still. Sometimes it even just stops people from playing as well, especially if you check a 3 or something like that. It can definitely completely change a turn. So this is quite a all or nothing strategy Murray has went for. He obviously knows, so he's using up the breaker 3 with the extended lifespan, so it's going to need like a 6. 3, 4, 5. He needs a 6, so he commits 1 for it. So the breaker's now used up, where obviously Scott can go back into a bit more of an attack run, which he does choose to do on a 7. Checks a 5. He's got an easy couple of foundations to commit. Yeah. Yeah, pass though. Will probably be this will probably be pretty rough. Michael has 1 out the now, really, being the swordfish, which if Scott doesn't see, but he's got to play into it essentially. There's not really much he can do. Obviously, he just doesn't want to, what he doesn't want to do at this point is waste any of the extra foundations or anything. But I don't see much on the field that has very much to do. Now that he's gave it the speed, obviously the actual attack itself, if it gets partially blocked, its response is based. After it was played as well, obviously he discarded Murray's momentum, and Murray takes the hit. So at this point, yeah, so Murray takes the hit, I think probably knowing Scott wasn't going to go in for any other attacks, because at that point it was going to be pretty rough. So one of them gets discarded and one can go to momentum, I think, if I'm right. Yeah. So that was a pretty rough turn from Murray. Murray down to 9. Scott's still at like 23. So yeah, that was pretty rough. So Scott's losing life still. Like, it's definitely happening. Put into pool. There we go. It goes there. So at this point, Murray is now pretty going to have to do some damage. I think just the attack package this also is. So it's definitely a matter of putting in a wee bit of extra damage and then even potentially forcing some discard. So let's see what he came in. So yeah, so he did the Friends and Rivals twice, and that's going to make Scott commit 4 of the foundations he has. So he's already committed like a face down task. He's committing it extended. see what else he does from there. Now, obviously, from here, he still has the enhance. If he doesn't attempt to block, he'll discard a card. That could be detrimental, especially if Scott has a pure and heart in hand, which potentially is potentially there. So I'm not too sure if Murray is actually going to do that. But he flips the Netherrealm, pays the 3 cost, and draws a card. So at this point, Murray is probably looking for just an aggressive turn. Like, he's probably looking for an aggressive turn, playing into maybe like a shotgun to try and finish him off. He might even play shotguns earlier, especially with the response, of discarding and after unblock weapon attack deals damage. Your opponent loses 2 life as well. So playing into a demon realm. So he's going to get 3 damage from this, and more crucially, it's probably the draw he's now looking for as well. Especially because this attack with a -2 on it for speed is now like superbly blockable. Again, it'll come down to whether or not Scott can if Scott's got a pure in heart in hand, he probably won't block it, but otherwise he'll take the hit. Let's see what else it does. So I think he's going to be taking the hit. I think he's mulling over the idea of the now. As well, because now at this point, so Murray's used the Riders of the Outsiders and gave the next attack +2/+2, which is triggered. It's all good. But then it's a matter of whether or not he now flips that and gives this. He probably won't flip this. You'll probably think he's attack, especially because he's going to be able to ready up a lot of options. He's readied up the Riders, which is pretty much the strong play at this point. Given the next thing to being able to do that an extra time is actually pretty effective, because that now sets up for like a proper three attack run. So at this point, Scott's now having to block. Having to block means he probably doesn't have a pure in heart in hand, which is probably his only kind of. That was probably a solid out. So he's had to block that, not taking the damage. But now there's a lot of damage potentially coming his way. So we'll see what he comes in for. Right, okay, so he's now playing the Swimming Bird. So it's a 5/5 attack that he needs. It getting a +2/+2 attached to it. It got -1 difficulty, I think. Yeah, it did get -1 difficulty. It actually passes it on a 5. And this attack's going to get +1 damage for each of your face down foundations. So it's going to get an extra 2 damage, which is pretty set up. He probably goes again and does the Riders again, more than likely, but it's taking off the speed. Scott plays this bad boy. So if your opponent's desperation, it's getting -4 speed, which is pretty rough going. So it does that. Murray, I think, did something for speed. So he's setting up the next attack with the +2/+2. At this point, he probably will flip. More than likely, he'll probably flip just to force the speed up on it. Yeah, totally. Pretty much. Elects that for the extra speed, making it 6 speed for quite a bit of damage now. Like now it's actually doing 10 damage. So that would put Scott down to like 13. So this makes the plays a lot more justifiable. and also forces Scott at this point now probably to block this. He definitely can't allow 10 damage through this early. He actually might take the 2, so he's flipped the journey west. So if he doesn't block it, if he doesn't block, he's going to the next check, for the next attack. But Murray now draws a card, hits him with a bang, does the extra 3 now, putting him to 10, and then it's going to just build a bit. Yeah, justify playing into, like, if he had another attack in hand, he probably couldn't justify playing into it as much, because it would have been more than likely it would have been like a spirit shotgun. He probably would have been looking to play, but at this point it's probably not passable with the extra +2 and everything in field. But got some cheeky damage out of that turn, that has now completely put the game back into like either player's turn. This will come down to just who gets a good attack run. So Scott draws back up, reviewing a Wandering Pirate. The Evil Eye gets discarded from play. Yep. So this will come down to, does Scott have enough attacks in hand currently where he could potentially do 6 damage. His average attack, I think, is doing 5. So at this point, he really needs the extra 1 on top of whatever he thinks he's got, because Swordfish exists. So with Swordfish being even there, like, it definitely leads up to that. I think he has to at this point play into it and really get that out of the way. But this will come down to obviously the options of, does Murray think he can block? So on play, the momentum for Murray is lost. That gets discarded. So get rid of that. No. But Murray's got an attack coming at him. An attack on him, which is but it's going to get force, which is going to lock in to it being pretty unblockable. Murray doesn't have a great amount of cards up, but he checks the TK Mastery. Probably elects to let that fail. I don't know if he can justify that yet. And then he's going to Archon and Nirvana and ready up a Foundation. And Scott's now committing All Might in the Foundation to draw 2. So at this point, I'm curious to see. I would love to see what both players are playing hand-wise, just to get kind of like a thought perspective on what kind of they're doing. But he seems to have a block for it. So on a 2, so what's that? A 3, 7, 8, 9. On a 9 for the partial. Jeez, that's brutal. So at this point, now it's just a matter of Scott pretty much, if Scott can play a couple more highs, he probably seals this away. Yeah, there's a 7. If he gets that past this, that'll have to be Swordfished. That's way too fast. So he's paying the momentum, and Murray can either discard a card or lose 2 life to cancel, or else he gets a Foundation popped. He elects to discard a card. That's pretty brutal. And then so then obviously he triggers the Swordfish. He needs that out of the way. And he throws down his hand. Scott plays another high. Obviously he didn't. At that point it was looking as if he didn't have any high blocks from the first attack. That's rough going. That was game 2 to Scott.